Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een amma ba'd. So last night we stopped and we covered what is the kafara for breaking the fast. And we pick up tonight on the makruhat, the things that are disliked. The things that are disliked. Now, that paper is hopefully clear enough with the 5 legal rulings, what it means if something is disliked, what it means or what it equals if something is haram, rather than just the translation. So it has the Arabic word and then the translation. Most of us are going to say if it's wajib, obligatory, but the definition lets you know what does obligatory mean to us. Mandub, or sometimes mandub is referred to as something that's recommended, or sometimes it's referred to as sunnah. All 3 of those words hold the same meaning, but those are the definitions, the definition attached to it. What is the equal in our lives as Muslims? Same thing for haram. Haram, we're going to say prohibited, impermissible, but if something is impermissible, what's in the definition is what's attached to it for us, inshallah. So the author, rahimahullah, in the section of the things that are disliked, al-makruhat, qala rahimahullah wa kuriha, 1, 2, 3, 4. It mentioned 4 things that are disliked. Now, disliked, if you look at the paper, hopefully it's clear. I'm gonna leave it like that, inshallah. If it's not clear, then let me know. Tayyib. Number 1, things that are disliked. Disliked means that it's not what? Huh? It's not like this. Huh? It's definitely not like. In comparison, huh?
It's not a sin, but it's not something you should do.
It's not a sin,
Just
right?
It's not a sin don't mean you should do it.
Yes, it's not sinful, but just because it's not sinful doesn't mean it's something that we should be doing. It's not open season, green light to do these things. Anything that's disliked, it doesn't mean it's a green light to do it. You just understand that it's not a sin, it's not haram, but it's still something we should be staying away from. Tayyib. Number 1, he says, أن يجمع ريقه فيبتلعه, to gather saliva in the mouth while you're fasting. Gather up the saliva in your mouth and then swallow it, as if that's going to quench your thirst, right? So what if a person sits around, and this is important to understand, what does it mean, makruh? A person sits around and they thirsty and they gather the saliva in their mouth and they hold the saliva in their mouth until they got a mouthful of saliva and then they swallow it. Tayyib? Everybody clear? That's the question. What's the ruling on doing that? Huh? Huh? The ruling, if the question, what's the ruling, it got to be from one of these 5 things. What's the ruling on it? What's the hukum? It got to be from one of them 5. Makruh, disliked. Meaning if a person did that, it's not going to break the fast. And this issue is not the issue from yesterday. The issue from yesterday was somebody pulling coal from somewhere else in the body, not what was already in the mouth. So a person has, let's just say they had a head cold mucus. They pull the mucus from here. Whether they stuffy, they pull it up from the chest. It wasn't in their mouth in the first place. That's a different issue. This issue, the saliva is already in the mouth. So a person gathering up saliva and swallowing it is not something that we should be doing, but it's not something that's going to break the fast. Tayyib. Number 2, وَذُوقُ طَعَامٍ, tasting the food. Tasting food. Now, what does it mean to taste it? Not to intentionally swallow it. So how do you taste it?
It's like you're preparing food, like
He said
spaghetti
taste it.
sauce or something, you taste it.
How?
Put it on your tongue.
You put it on your tongue. Now, according to yesterday, is the tongue the inside? No. The inside starts where? The throat, on down, up the nasal cavity to the brain, right? That's considered the inside, and when it comes to fasting. But is this like, one of the reasons is because person could possibly swallow it, then that's your problem. Clear? But he's going to mention that shortly, inshallah. So, dhokul ta'am, tasting the food. Dislike to taste it. There's no reason for you to taste it, don't taste it. Well, who should usually taste the food? The cook. Just because you're walking by and it smells good, brother said it was disliked, so you can really taste it because he said it was disliked. It's not haram, it's not a sin if I taste it. Let me get a little taste. You're playing around, right? You swallow the spaghetti sauce. That's your problem. You with me? طيب. Number 3. وَمَضْغُ عِلَكٍ لَا يَتَحَلَّلْ. It's 2 types of, which we probably don't have. Maybe they got it. Maybe. It's 2 types of gum. Some gum, and I don't know how to explain it except that maybe it'd probably be like chewing on a rubber band. It doesn't break down and disintegrate. There's no taste to it. Clear? Then there's another type of gum that breaks down like we know and it has flavor to it, right? This one he says, dislike chewing the gum that doesn't break down. The one with no flavor that doesn't break down. Y'all with me? You might say, well, what's that? If you've never seen it, then the issue don't make sense to you. If you've never seen this type of gum, then this line in the book doesn't make any sense because you've never seen it. It's hard to visualize it. But I'm trying to make it as close as possible. You ever chew a rubber band? Imagine chewing a rubber band. There's no taste, there's no flavor, right? Even though it's no taste and no flavor, it's possible to do what? Swallow it. And if you swallow it, anything that goes to the inside, right? According to the author, anything that goes to the inside, whether it is food, a replacement for food, or not, according to the author. Tayyib. The other scholars say, no, not anything. This is not according to the author. The other scholars say, not anything. Anything that's a replacement for food that goes in is going to break the fast. All right, that's what some say, but not according to the author. So he says it's disliked because it's possible that a person could swallow that gum, and if they swallow that gum, then that's going to break the fast. He says, وَإِن وَجَدَ طَعْمَهُمَا فِي حَلْقِهِ أَفْطَرَ. If a person, from tasting the food, what's the ruling on tasting the food? Makruh, dislike. What's the ruling on chewing the gum that doesn't break down? Both of them dislike. But if you find that you swallow some of it, the taste, you find the taste of the spaghetti sauce a little bit, right? You broke your fast. If you find the taste from the gum, you swallow some of the gum, you broke your fast. Therefore, it's better to stay away from it. If you don't have to taste it, don't taste it. If a cook is cooking food and the cook tastes the food, that's for the cook. It's not for everybody that walks by the cook. And then refer to me. And definitely don't say my name. Abu Saajid was saying people can eat when you fasting as long as you don't swallow it. Don't put my name in it. The author says it's disliked to taste the food. That means the person that's tasting the food is tasting it out of necessity, not curiosity. The cook is tasting out of necessity, not just to be standing by it because even if the cook tastes the food and he finds the taste and it goes down, then aftara, as he says, then the fast, and they have broken their fast. Tayyib, number 4, the 4th thing that's disliked, he says, وَالْقُبْلَةُ وَنَحُهَا مِمَّنْ تُحَرِّكُ شَهْوَةً. Kissing your wife or kissing your husband is disliked for the person who is going to be aroused by that kiss. Some people, they can kiss their wife, but you can kiss her husband. It's just I don't know what we call it. Maybe a peck. No real feeling involved. Not like they're going to get, feel some type of way about it. But if a person, it says al-qubla, and this is for the person, is disliked for the person who when they kiss their spouse, it moves them, it arouses them. Every time if every time you kiss your wife, you feel some type of way, then no. For you, it's disliked. But there's some people, they kiss their wife or she kiss her husband, and sometimes she kisses, he feels some type of way, sometimes she kisses him, it's nothing. This is not concerning those people. This is concerning the one, as he says, not just a kiss, or it could be a touch. Touch like, I'm not necessarily saying like a provocative touch. We fasting. the touch of her hand. If the touch of her hand is going to move you like that, touching your wife's hand, then it's disliked for you to even go that far. Stay away from it, because the next section is what's going to break it. It's possible that innocent touch leads to something else. And the things that broke the fast yesterday, some of them were things that a person does. A person looked at something too many times until this happened. Yes, that was an action that they did. And this is the same, along the same lines. This is something that you do. You kiss your wife, she kissed her husband. You did the action. You didn't have to kiss her. She didn't have to kiss you. And if you know that's your situation, then it's disliked to kiss her in that situation. Those are the four things he mentioned that are disliked to do. وَتَحْرُمْ. And then he says, haram, which is number 3, prohibited, impermissible, meaning it's a sin. The same two things become a sin if a person, he says, وَتَحْرُمْ, meaning kissing the spouse is haram. You ready? I'm not finished yet. Kissing the spouse is disliked in one situation, and then kissing the spouse is haram in another situation. It's disliked in the first situation we just spoke about, but it becomes haram in dhanna inzalan. If a person thinks, if a man thinks, if he kisses his wife it's going to cause him to ejaculate, then it's haram to kiss her. Or if he touches her, it's haram to touch her. If he knows, if he thinks, if I touch her like this, if I kiss her like this, it's going to cause him to ejaculate, then it's haram to kiss her. We clear? A person's going to say, what's the ruling? Or no, a person's going to say that. We're going to say, a person's going to ask you, can you kiss your wife while you fasting? Can you kiss your wife while you fasting? It depends. You see how everything's not a straight answer. It depends. On what? Depends on the person. It depends on how it's going to affect you when you kiss her while you fasting. No, you can kiss your wife while you fasting. Depends on what you're going to say. The Prophet said someone kissed, right, his wife while he was fasting, and he did. And it's permissible to kiss your wife while you, but if it's going to go this far and cause you to break your fast, that's a different situation. The Prophet said something didn't break his fast when he kissed his wife. Tayyib, we clear? Tayyib, he says also, if a person, they think, it's very possible if I taste this food, I'm not going to be able to keep it. I'm not going to be able to keep it from going down. More than likely, if I taste this type of food, I'm going to swallow it. More than likely. Then in that case, it's not dislike to taste that food. Haram to taste the food in that case. If you think that by tasting that food, which you literally you can put on the tongue, the dhuk. But in this type of food, if I taste, I'm probably going to swallow it. But I'm going to just gamble anyway. You know what I mean? The brother said it's not haram on that. And then you swallow. In that case, it's haram to taste the food in that case. So is it permissible to taste food? Everybody see how that go? We used to giving blanket answers. Yes, no, you can't do that. It depends on the situation. Tayyib. He says, number 2, وَتَحْرُمْ. The second type of gum, the one that breaks down, has flavor, it breaks down, and is more likely that you're going to swallow something from that gum, not the other gum. The other gum is, what's the other gum, huh? It's not flavored, and it doesn't break down. It's like chewing a rubber band. Why is that one disliked, though? Why is it, if there's no flavor and it doesn't break down, why is it disliked? It might be benefit. There's benefit in chewing it. Why would it be disliked, though?
Could it be because it appears that you're eating something?
It appears that you're eating? Huh? It's possible to swallow it. You put yourself in a situation where if you swallow it, there's no flavor, it's not breaking down, but if you swallow it, aftara, you broke your fast. Therefore, it's disliked to even put ourselves in a situation close to that. Tayyib. Number 3, وَتَحْرُمْ. And these things as the author says, بالتأكد at the end, these things are haram with emphasis. Haram with emphasis. These are emphasized. It's impermissible to do these things anyway as a Muslim. But during Ramadan, it's even more emphasized in haram to do the following. Number one, kadhib, lying. Lying. Lying is haram in general. Lying during Ramadan while you're fasting is even worse. Wa ghiba, backbiting. We know what backbiting is, right? What's the definition of backbiting? Fadal.
Say that about your brother which displeases.
Say something about your brother.
That which is true, you backbend him, the hadith states, and that which is untrue, you slander.
Say something about your brother that is
True, that maybe displease him.
that he wouldn't want you to say. He wouldn't want you to say that about him or her. Even if it's true. Even if it's true. And that's what the Sahaba asked him, what if it's true, O Messenger of Allah? If it's true, and they wouldn't want you to say that about him. If it's true, he said, then you backbit him. Still backbiting. And if what you said is not true, then you slandered him. It's an L, either way. It's a lose-lose. Backbiting, or lying was the first one. Backbiting was the second one. Namima. Namima is usually translated as tail carrying, right? Tail carrying? What does it mean to tail carry? What is tail carrying? Gossip. He said, she said, just talking, all types of random conversations. You heard what such and such said? You heard that? All this during Ramadan takes away from dhikr, remembering Allah. We worried about what this person said, what they said up here. You see what they posted. You heard what they about to do. Da 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 da. It might be true. It might not be true. At the end of it, there's really no benefit. We just got a bunch of information about something that's not helping our fast at all. It might make us upset. It might ruin your day. Some information that ruins your day. I was cool until you said that. There was no benefit in you telling another person that. Tayyib, he says, was shatmun, or shatam. Shatam, or sab, is like we say, just talking about people. We come from a culture, we just might sit around and just talk about people. Whether we know them or we don't know them. We just got something to say about somebody for no reason. Right? Tayyib, all of these things are haram in general for Muslims outside of Ramadan. In Ramadan, as he says, وَنَحْوُ بِالتَّأَكُّدْ, it's even more emphasized. It's even worse to do any of these things while we're fasting. Fadal.
What's the difference between shatam
Shatam and what? And who?
the first one?
Shatam and kadhib, ghiba, namima, ghiba. Shatam, I could be talking to you right now, just talking crazy to you, right? Shatam is literally, shatam is translated as curse, cursing somebody. May the curse of Allah be on such and such. Even though most people don't talk like that, most of the time, it's rare that people talk like that, but, or seb is to just talking crazy to each other. How we, you upset, somebody do something in the store, and you curse them out. Not you. But a person gets upset because somebody cut them off on the street, they pull up to the light, catch them in traffic, pull up to the light, roll their window around, start cursing them out. Kufi on and everything. Head wrapped up. None of that matters. May Allah forgive us. No respect. Listen, y'all, that's absolutely no respect for deen. To show up dressed all up like we be dressed up and act like we still on a street corner when we talk to people with no regard for the bad image we give into deen is total ignorant and total disrespect to the religion. It used to be a time, even if a person was going to do something, they wouldn't do it with their Islamic stuff on. If they was gonna curse somebody out, they at least take their kufi off. Just saying, right? They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't show nothing that would make this look bad. So that's years ago. But they would take off the kufi, and then they go do something. There's no way they would do anything that would give a bad image of Islam. And may Allah return us back to that type of thought, because we can't, we shouldn't think it's okay just to embarrass each other. Every Muslim that's embarrassed, the rest of us are embarrassed. Fadl.
What about like, we call it sort of like bidding on each other, like two brothers going back and forth in a joking manner, bidding
Joking.
on each other. How does that look at?
Is it permissible? Is it permissible to joke in Islam? Huh? Huh?
You could joke, just not Islamically.
What you mean Islamically?
You can't joke about the deen.
Not joking about the deen. Good. No joking about deen. Jade. No joking about the religion. Our deen is not a joke. We shouldn't be using our deen to do skits and make fun of type of worship we be doing. Nothing's funny about our worship. It's serious for us. As far as joking, the Prophet ﷺ joked, but joking doesn't mean we can lie to get somebody to laugh. And it's another hadith about the people who lie to get people to laugh. So we shouldn't be lying, but for real, just to be honest with you, like, we only have, like, if Allah gives us that, we only got 29 days. We should try to minimize as much joking as possible. And the energy we putting in the joking, we could be reading a couple pages from the Quran or something. We're doing something more. We got 11 more months after this, inshallah. The joke, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the joke is a bad joke. I'm just saying we could be doing something more constructive. And that's why a lot of Sahaba, they would say, Nahfadh siyamana, we want to protect our fast being in the masjid. They would seclude themselves in the masjid, not even i'tikaf, just in the masjid during Ramadan. Why? Because if you're in the masjid, it's less likely certain things you're just not going to say, certain things you're not going to pull up on your phone, certain people you're not going to talk to on the phone. It's just certain things you're not going to do in the masjid. And that's safer for a person's fast if they have the ability to do that. So those 4, 1, 2, 3. And he said, lying, backbiting. He said, she said, just talking bad to people. وَنَحْوُهُ, and other things that could be considered bad also. Not just those. Those are examples. He said, بِالتَّأَكُّدْ, those things are haram even more in Ramadan. They even worse. It's even worse to lie during Ramadan. Muslims not supposed to be lying anyway. To lie during Ramadan is even worse. Muslims not supposed to be backbiting each other anyway. Backbiting during Ramadan is worse. We're not supposed to be just gossiping. Everything that come across we want to talk about, but doing it during Ramadan is worse. Talking bad to people during Ramadan is worse. Tayyib. The author, rahimahullah, says was sunnah. 4 things he said that are recommended. 4 things are recommended. Number 1, ta'jilu fitrin. 2, as we say.
Do any of the things that you mentioned break your fast at any point?
Which ones?
Had the
Not necessarily. He said that does lying, backbiting, those 4 things, do they break the fast? The scholars explain they don't break the fast, but they lessen your reward. Because some people say, oh man, I cursed by accident, I broke my fast. I'm gonna just make it up. And then they start eating in the middle of the day because they cursed. Are Muslims supposed to be cursing? Are Muslims supposed to be saying curse words? Oh, all right. Everybody mumble like y'all be cursing. I'm talking to the wrong. Somebody got you blocked in. Who is it? Great Cherokee got the shake blocked in. The Muslims not supposed to be cursing, y'all. We supposed to have the best manners all the time. There are no exceptions when you get mad, you can curse and then just be like, I was mad. That means you did something wrong as a Muslim. That means if I do something wrong, I'm supposed to make tawbah, ask Allah to forgive me, seek Allah's forgiveness, repent.
Now, the Prophet
Sorry,
told us a person say a word and not give it a thought,
No doubt.
take them 70 years down.
So a person will say a word and not give it any thought. To them, there's no big deal. Ain't no big deal like that. I say what I want to say. 'Cause some people think, may Allah forgive us, some of us think that it's decent or whatever the word is, I do what I want to do. Right? I do what I want to do. As if that's something like, you know what I'm saying, a flex or something. Muslims don't live like that, though. We live by rules and regulations. We got a moral code that we live by all the time. Quran and Sunnah, everything in there, that's how we living by. We slip up, we make a mistake, we wrong, we ask Allah to forgive us. There's nothing to be like, man, I say what I want to say to who I want to say it to, when I want to say it. Ain't nobody going to do nothing. MashaAllah. As if Allah, as if the angels are not writing. As if Allah, we're not going to be held accountable. As if we don't have a hisab, a book that's being written, that we really writing ourselves, for real, for real. Everything we do, we're writing our own books that Allah said on Yawm al-Qiyamah, nukhriju lahu, that is going to be opened up Yawm al-Qiyamah. And then everybody's going to be told, read your book. Iqra kitabak. Allah said in Surah Al-Isra, everybody's book is going to be attached to their necks. Whatever we do from deeds that we piling up over the years, once it's being recorded for us, Allah said in Surah Al-Isra, that everybody's going to have it attached to their necks. Right? Then Allah says it's going to be opened up on the day of judgment, right? And it's going to be said to everybody, Iqra kitabak, read your book. You read it. Allah said, Kafa bi nafsika. It's enough. You yourself, you, every person is enough as a witness. Nobody else has to say anything because we're going to be reading our own stuff. But you, we think now because there's no repercussion, right? Everybody can open up a page on the internet and just say whatever you want to say. And then whoever got something to say about it, you just delete them and block them and just go and just run it up. As if there's no repercussion at the end, which is a super huge, super mistake. Tayyib, Sunnah. If it's Sunnah, these things are Sunnah. 4 of them. Sunnah, which is recommended. Tayyib. Or the other word is mandub. Recommended ta'jeel fitr. 2, as it says, hasten to break the fast. Rush to break the fast. When? The adhan of Maghrib. Tayyib. You rush to break the fast when you're sure it's time to break the fast. Not when you think it's time to break fast. When you're sure it's time to break fast. And we do this every year, we do this. It'd be like, I don't know how many brothers sitting in here. Everybody's hungry. What's going to happen at the adhan of Maghrib? When it's time to break fast, what's going to happen? At Maghrib, the mu'adhin's going to come here and call the adhan. We be sitting here just like this, somebody's random phone will go off. My brother just start eating. Like his phone is the phone. Like all of us in here, like we ain't hungry, we all fasting and hungry. One phone goes off in the back, he start eating. The next phone go off, he over here eating. Then everybody looking around. When it's a mu'adhin about to call the adhan, whose phone is right? You know what I'm saying? The mu'adhin. He got a job. The mu'adhin has a job to come call the adhan when it's time to break fast. Why would we sit here all together and when your phone goes off, you take it upon yourself to start eating?
A question about the adhan. Is the adhan on the phone, is it considered an adhan more so than an alarm? Or is it
It's more of an alarm. It's more of an alarm, but
they hear the adhan on the phone, they think
they know. They think it's time to break because their phone went off.
Yeah, but I see.
You see what I'm saying? So they're using their phone. Oh, it's time for Maghrib. We can eat. All right, but Dave, your phone went off, and then his phone went off. So which one was right? Why even do that if we're in the masjid and then somebody's right to call the adhan? It's safer. If anybody's going to be wrong, let it be the mu'adhin.
Especially if you're only talking about like a minute.
You're talking about a minute. Sometimes yeah, you talking about his phone, sometimes his phone is 4 minutes off. So his goes off 4 minutes, then his goes off 2 minutes, then his goes off 1 minute, and then the mother's gonna call the adhan after that. 4 minutes is no time. If you in the masjid, you can hear the adhan. If you at work moving around and you don't really know what's going on and all you have is your phone, fear Allah the best you can. But if you in the masjid, everybody's waiting to break fast, why would we jump the gun and then turn around and say, you're supposed to rush to break the fast? Because brothers be bold. I'm nobody. I ain't nobody. I'm just saying. We all here doing this together. If there be more people, it's Ramadan, so the joint packed. Everybody's waiting to eat. One random brother in the back, phone go off. I guess he's on the Sunnah. We all not on Sunnah. He's rushing to break the fast, but we don't want to rush to break the fast. So one joint goes off, even though it's a timer up there with all of the day and times and all that. Forget all that. They go break their fast. And I only say something because I'm looking. Most times people looking this way, they don't see him. So I say, hold on, it's not time to break yet. Hold up. But sometimes I don't see them. They already be eating and drinking. In the masjid. If you're in the masjid, it's safer to let the muadhin call the adhan. That's just a safer thing to do. So ta'jeel fitr, rushing to break the fast is when you know it's time to break. You know it's time to break fast? If you're in the masjid, how you know it's time to break fast? The muadhin calls the adhan for Maghrib. So if the muadhin calls the adhan for Maghrib during Ramadan, we're not sitting around still having conversations. I'm going to just go ahead, everybody get theirs. I'm going to just sit back. No, we're not knocking each other over. You got a water in your hand. You still talking about whatever you're talking about. No, at that point, break the fast. That's sunnah to break the fast. The opposite, which is number 2, is وَتَأْخِيرُ السُّحُورِ, delaying eating suhoor in the morning. That the suhoor should be eaten close to the adhan of fajr as possible. Recommended to eat the suhoor, whatever you eat in the morning before the adhan of fajr. And I'm just using times. The adhan of fajr is at 5 o'clock. Some people, they get up like 3:30. And then some people don't eat until 5:45. What's better, eating at 3:30 in the morning or 4:45? 4:45 is better. That's better for a suhoor because it's closer to the adhan. Sunnah. The person who ate at 3:30, did they eat suhoor? They ate suhoor. That's still suhoor. They got up early. They're going to say, well, listen, I can't rush to eat. It takes me longer to eat. I don't like to rush my food. Food got to digest. I got to take medication. So they eat at 3:30. It's no problem. What's better if you can? Eat closer to the adhan. Don't use me and say you were saying eat. The adhan is at 5 o'clock and you eating at 4:59 and you got a whole plate and then you tell you the hadith, eat what's in front of you. I'm not even getting into that. I'm not going nowhere near that. Allahu A'lam. The author didn't mention that, so I'm not going to mention it. Either way, delaying the suhoor closer to the adhan as possible without going over. If the adhan is at 5 o'clock in the morning, what time should you stop?
4 or 5 o'clock.
Like what?
4:58.
You could listen. If you stop at 4:58, you cool. But you know, it's life. I'm saying it's life though. 4:58, you still. Somebody say something to you. Now you're having a conversation. You still. You know, you with me? That last piece of sandwich is not your right. Because some people think that because it's there, I like this. Since it's there, I have to eat it. Like if I don't eat it, my day gonna be messed up. Like that. You know what I'm saying? If I don't eat that last piece, the rest of my whole fast is gonna be messed up all day. It's not worth gambling. That little piece is not gonna put you over the hump like that. And I'm not getting into anything else. If a person decides that they wanna gamble, you got your hand up? Number 3, it says, وَقَوْلُ مَا وَرَدْ عِنْدَ فِطْرٍ. It's recommended to recite or say one of the du'as from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ when you break your fast. Where are those du'as at? Fortress of the Muslim. All you gotta do is look in Fortress of the Muslim. There's a section. You can find the du'a, what to say when you break the fast. We do know Fortress of the Muslim, right? No. Type the little, no? Anybody got a Fortress of the Muslim on them? Yeah. The little black book? Or you got the hype joint, you got the super joint. That's the new one.
Small like this.
They all small like that though. They black Fortress of the Muslim. It's a bunch of du'as in there, or it's at least one in there that you could use from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to say when you break the fast. Number 4, وَتَتَابُعُ الْقَضَاء فَوْرًا. Recommended to make up your days after Ramadan immediately. You got days to make up after Ramadan. You can make them up. You have how long to make up days for Ramadan? Till the next Ramadan. He says it's better, it's recommended to make them up immediately, all at one time. Everybody clear? Which means a person will start making up their days when? After the day of their Eid. You can't fast on their Eid. So after the very next day after their Eid, it's recommended to make up your days that you missed from Ramadan. Consecutively. Tayyib, recommended. Which means what? Huh? It's no sin if you don't do what?
You don't implement that sunnah.
Which sunnah?
What we talking about?
What we talking about? I don't know what we talking about. You gotta be specific. What we talking about?
Making up your days consecutively after the Eid.
Yes, if you meaning, because you got to do it like that, because what we'll do is we'll take this, and a brother or sister who got to make up days, if they not making them up after the Eid, we going to grind them up. It's recommended to do it. A person recommended to do what? Make them up immediately and all in one row. That he got 5 days to make up. We want them, because we heard this, we want them to make them up all 5 right after the Eid. After the day after the Eid, you got to do all your 5 the next day. And if you don't, we got a problem. It's recommended. They do, alhamdulillah. If they don't, it's no sin. He might do 2, he might do 1. He might not do nothing. He might not fast the day after the Eid. He doesn't have to. It's better. He might say, I'm gonna just do 1 now. I'm gonna just do 1 every month for the next 5 months. Can he do that? You gotta make up 5 days for Ramadan. I'm gonna just make up 1 day per month for the next 5 months. You know, come on, Sheikh. You could do more than 1. We gotta be easy, man. Deen is easy. We be making it difficult. Deen is easy. You got a whole 11 months to make up. Let's just use a sister on her menses, right? Let's just say she had a long mens. 10 days. She got 11 months to make up 10 days of fasting. She could literally do 1 day a month. No pressure. Then most people, they get sick. Maybe they have, maybe they have. Maybe they miss 2 weeks, 14 days. You got 11 months to make up 14 days. Even if you did 2. If you did 2 days a month, right, you're done in 7 months. It's easy. So sometimes it's not about we talk on what's better. And there's no pressure on what's better except that if we really that close, and it's just encouragement to do some good, to do khair. Tayyib. The author rahimahullah says, وَحَرُمَ تَأْخِيرُهُ إِلَى آخَرَ بِلَا عُذْرٍ. And if a person has days to make up from Ramadan, haram to delay making up the days all the way into the next Ramadan. Meaning you got 5 days to make up, right? Those 5 days are supposed to be made up, all of them. All 5 days are supposed to be made up before Ramadan, before the next Ramadan. Unless a person has an excuse. Tayyib, bila udhr. Unless a person has an excuse. But what kind of excuse might a person have? It could be have a health issue. They just weren't able to fast all year. Every time they try to fast, they weren't able to fast due to health issues. Huh? Or she was pregnant. She can fast if she's pregnant. But she might feel like, she might feel like that's going to be too much to think about. Let's just leave it at a sickness. Because if we get into that, we got to go. She's pregnant, huh? She's pregnant, which means, let's just say, just for argument's sake, she missed some days during Ramadan because her menses were on. Right? So let's just say she got 7 days to make up. After Ramadan, she gets pregnant. طيب. She still got them 7 days to make up. طيب. Them 7 days have to be made up before the next Ramadan. She's pregnant, can she fast? She can fast. She's pregnant, she can fast. Right? And let's just stop there. Whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? طيب. Either way, haram, the delay of making up the days until, you see that's a whole issue. That's a whole issue. How you gonna make it up? We ain't gonna get into that. Haram, the delay with no excuse to the next Ramadan. A person had the opportunity to make up the days, they didn't make them up. And like some people do, they might wait until the shorter days of the year. Like these days are shorter now. So a person might wait and make their days up during the time of the year when the days are shorter. Either way, it has to be before the next Ramadan. He says, فَإِنْ فَعَلَ وَجَبَ مَعَ الْقَضَاءِ إِطْعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ عَنْ كُلِّ يَوْمٍ. If a person delayed making up their days, and they didn't finish making up their days to the next Ramadan, so they owe 5 days from Ramadan, they're supposed to make up 5 days before the next Ramadan. طيب. By the time Ramadan came, they made up 3, which means they still owed 2. So they still owe 2 days. But when they gonna do the 2 days? After the new Ramadan. They're not making up old Ramadan days in the new Ramadan, because then you're gonna need to make up the new Ramadan days. So they're gonna make up the old days after the new Ramadan. Person owed 5 days of fasting. The new Ramadan came in. By the time the new Ramadan came in, they only made up 3 of their days, which means they had 2 days remaining from last Ramadan. They're not making up Ramadan days inside of a new Ramadan. Those 2 days that they owe, they putting them off until intention-wise. Intention. It's all about the niyyah. They're putting them off until after Ramadan. After Ramadan is over, the new Ramadan, they're going to make the intention to make up the 2 days from the past Ramadan. After the Eid. Clear? You with me? طيب. If a person waited and they didn't make up the days, so they owed 5 days, they made up 3, and they still owe 2. What's on them? Number 1, they still have to make up the 2 days. Qadha, they still have to make the 2 days up. And they feed a person for each day. Along with making up the day, they're going to feed a person for each day. That means they're going to feed 2 people for the 2 days that they owe. That's for who, though? Who is that for? The person who? The person who didn't make up their days before Ramadan and they didn't have an excuse. Yes.
So I got a question, right?
Fine.
So, if you fall sick on Ramadan, like just unexpectedly fall sick, and you like definitely say like maybe you could have been on like a different kind of medication or something like that. You were fasting on Ramadan, and all of a sudden it comes to the point where you're like, man, I really can't fast on this medication, right? So, now let's say you're not taking the medication no more, right? Is it possible to, because you know, and the person that's sick or who can't fast, they feed people, right? Is it possible so would the person have to make up the fasting days, or is feeding the people because of the health condition that existed at the time, does that suffice?
I'm confused, Sheikh.
Adjusted that. Is the full, that question.
I don't understand the question.
So look.
It fall under them four
The-
types.
Fall under the rules, I agree.
It fall under the.
I wasn't here yesterday.
No, I got you. No,
Yeah, I don't understand the question. What's the question, though?
So the question is, right?
Simplify it.
All right, I'm gonna simplify. I get sick. I get sick on, let's say the last week of Ramadan, right?
طيب.
And I'm on a medication that you can't fast on this medication.
طيب.
You have to drink, you have to eat something with the medication.
Okay.
Now, do I make those days up, or for the time that I can't fast, I'm feeding people for those days that I can't fast?
Are you going to heal? Is it a healable sickness? You going to recover?
It's a sickness that you might not have to be on the you might only have to be on the medication for a limited amount of
Is
time.
it recoverable? You gonna recover or not?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna recover, you're not feeding nobody for that. You're gonna make them days up whenever you recover.
Because it's not a chronic illness.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I want.
yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're gonna recover, you don't just feed people and it drops off. If you're gonna recover, you're not feeding nobody. You're just gonna make the days up whenever you recover.
Okay.
The feeding people and placing the fasting is for the people who have the sickness that's not curable.
Right, got you.
Those are the ones who feed in place of fasting. The other people that are fasting like this is a penalty, like you said, like a penalty. You got to make up the day, and you got to feed somebody. What you feed somebody for? Penalty for not making up your days on time. You had a whole 11 months to make up 5 days, right? You made up 3, now 2. You had 2 left to carry over after the new Ramadan. So now you still owe those 2, and for each day, for those 2 days, you're going to feed a person for each day. طيب. طيب. وإن مات المفرط. But if a person who, let's say the person who didn't make up their days, right? They refer to him as being negligent in making up their days. Right? They're negligent. They wasn't really on it like they were supposed to be. They didn't take making up the days serious enough to finish them in time for the next Ramadan. But what if that happens and you have till the next Ramadan and they die before the next Ramadan? They owe 5 days and they die before the next Ramadan. Y'all with me? Person owes 5 days. They have all year until the next Ramadan to make up the 5 days. طيب. During that time period, they pass away. And they still owe days. He says, أُطْعِمَ عَنْهُ كَذَلِكَ. That, in that case, a person will feed, somebody's going to feed on his behalf or her behalf for each day that they owe. So if they owe 5 days, how many people are being fed? 5 people for each day on the behalf of the deceased. We clear? Fadl. Khalas, nobody knows. Nobody knows, nobody knows. This is assuming a person knows though. Close people might know. A wife might know, a husband might know, like somebody close to you, the person that you broke the fast with, y'all was traveling together, right?
Is there a punishment?
The person who passes away? Not necessarily. It's not necessarily a punishment. They still had time to make it up. It ain't like they went past and they reached the next Ramadan. They just died before the next Ramadan came.
Is it a punishment for a person who knows that that person owes days, but passed away before them? Like, for example, the person who's traveling with him
Yeah.
knows he owes 2-3 days. He's the only one who knows.
Right.
And he decides, that's his problem.
We're going to get to that. He said, what about the person who you know the brother or the sister owed days? They passed away, you the only one that know. He says, do I have to say something? Like, do I have to feed somebody on their behalf? Everybody with me? طيب. He says, وَإِنْ مَاتَ الْمُفَرِّطُ وَلَوْ قَبْلَ آخَرٍ أُطِمَ عَنْهُ كَذَلِكَ من رأس ماله ولا يصام. It says, for the person who dies before they made up all their days, that the person, somebody feeds on behalf of each day that they owed. Well, where they get the money from? Let's say this. They're going to feed on the behalf of the deceased for each day they owe. They're not fasting the days for them. We don't have to fast the 5 days on the deceased's behalf, but we're going to feed a person for each day that they owe. Number 1. من رأس ماله. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. What was the question? You said, is it a sin on who?
Is it the person who is
Oh, the person who knows. We was traveling together and I know. Is it a sin on me if I don't do it?
Yeah, if you don't feed
On the deceased's behalf? Allah alam. I don't know this. I don't know. If we get done quick enough, I'll check, inshallah. طيب. وإن كان على الميت, if the deceased owes one of the following things. If the deceased made an oath, they took an oath to do Hajj, or an oath to fast, or a salat. They make an oath to do one of these three things. It says or something else. We know an oath. An oath, what is an oath? A promise. Tayyib. What does it mean if a person makes an oath though? If they make a promise to Allah. It becomes obligatory now. Now whatever they made an oath about, it wasn't obligatory before, but it's obligatory now. So for example, a person says, and they make an oath to Allah, and it usually goes like, oh Allah, if you do this for me, then I'm gonna fast 10 days next month. Right? And then whatever they ask for, Allah gives it to them. Those 10 days next month, in the beginning, they weren't obligatory, but they're obligatory now. Person made an oath. Tayyib. Tayyib. They die before they can complete the oath of fasting those 10 days. Everybody clear? Or, oh Allah, if you give me this job, if you let me marry this sister, the sister said, if you let me marry this brother, I'm going to perform Hajj this year. To get the job, he marries a sister, she marries the brother. That Hajj now is what? Obligatory. Right? They die before they can perform the Hajj. Everybody get the idea? That's an oath for some type of worship. He says, if that happens, he says, it's recommended, li waliyihi qada'uhu, is recommended for the awliya of the person, the walis of the person in the family, to carry out what they didn't get to do. Sunnah to do it. They don't have to do it. Sunnah is recommended to do it. We clear? Meaning, a person said they made an oath to make Hajj, they couldn't make the Hajj. They passed away. The person, one of the awliya of the family, they know that they made an oath to make the Hajj and they passed away. Like, they ain't get to make the Hajj. Sunnah is recommended that the person takes from their own money and makes the Hajj for them. Be clear? Recommended. They don't have to do it. It's a good gesture though. For the deceased person, for the deceased, it's a good gesture. You know that the person made an oath to do one of those things. They pass away, it's a good gesture, one of the awliya of the family that they carried out for them. He says, that's assuming, or he says, وَمَعَ تَرِكَةٍ يَجِبْ. But if the person deceased, meaning the deceased, has inheritance that they left behind. Y'all with me? If the deceased left behind inheritance when they passed away, it's obligatory to take from that money and perform the Hajj. What if they don't have any inheritance?
You use your own money.
What you mean you use your own money?
I use my money. If they don't got no money,
Yeah,
when they pass,
yeah.
I use my own coin and do it for them on behalf of them.
You have to?
No.
You don't have to. Good. Make sure you understand. I don't have to, but I can. I can take my own money and I can perform it on behalf of the person. I don't have to, right? But if they have inheritance, we take them from that. Obligatory to take from that first.
Is it being that he left something, it's obligatory to take from that versus take from you, or is it now it's obligatory to fulfill it for
No,
you?
obligatory to take from that.
Take from that, okay.
It's obligatory to take from his or her inheritance that they left behind. It's their nadhr. It's their oath that they made. It's not mine. Me carrying it out, and it doesn't have to be me. Anybody could take from that money, and anybody can do it. It don't necessarily have to be me, you, but the money is taken from the deceased inheritance that they left. We clear? Tayyib. he says, وَلَا مُبَاشَرَةُ wali. So he says just the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be the wali from the family. Anybody could do it, but if they have inheritance, the money is taken from there. If they don't have any inheritance to cover the bill, they don't have it, then it's a good gesture that somebody carries it out for them, inshallah. We'll do this last section before we stop, inshallah. Faslun wa yusannu som. 6, 7. He mentioned 7 different recommended fasts. 7 different recommended fasts. You ready? Number 1, Ayyam al-Bid, the white days. Every month on the Muslim calendar, we have what are called the white days. Why are they the white days? What are the white days? Nobody knows the white days? The moon, the full moon in the middle of the month. What's the days?
13, 14, 15.
Huh? 13, 14, 15? Or 14, 15, 16?
You wanted the hadith?
If you have it, you got the hadith? What are the white days? Just what are they? How do you, let's start here. How do you recognize the white days? The full moon. Every month in the middle of the Islamic month, it's going to be a full moon. So whenever you look up in the sky and you see a full moon, you know it's the middle of the Islamic month. No matter what other months it is, no matter what month it is. That's the middle of the month for us. Tayyib. It's recommended to fast 3 days on the full moon, the middle of the month. They're called Ayyam al-Bid. If you look them up, fasting white days is going to tell you which 3 days. 13, 14, 15? Somebody said 14, 15, 16. Huh? It's Google. It's a quick Google. It's Googleable. It's Googleable. It's not that difficult. Some things are real not difficult. And it's better, I'm only saying because it's better sometimes you read it, because sometimes you read it, you never forget it. If you hear it, you know how we say go one ear and out the other. But sometimes when you look at it, it just stick. It'll just never. That's why I say sometimes just Google it real quick. It ain't going to take no time to Google it. Tayyib. Whoever finds it first, announce it. Further.
Yeah, 13, 14. You want the hadith or the days?
The days first, but if you got the
13,
hadith.
14, 15.
13th, 14th, and 15th.
Messenger of Allah
Sorry, son.
said, "Oh Abu Bakr, if you are going to fast 3 days of the month, then fast on the 13th, 14th, and the 15th."
That's the Prophet ﷺ. Oh, Abu Dhar, if you're going to fast, then fast the 13th, 14th, and the 15th. Every month, all year long, on every month of the Islamic calendar, it's going to be white days. It's recommended Sunnah to fast those 3 days every month. Tayyib. Number 2, the second category, wal khamis, Yom al Khamis, which is Thursdays. Sunnah to fast on Thursdays, not all year round.
Mondays and Thursdays.
That's the next one. Mondays is the next one.
Are those separate?
It's just,
Oh, okay.
it's lined out separate. Even though we always say Mondays and Thursdays, we do always say Mondays and Thursdays. But the author separated them. Yeah, number 3 is Mondays, wal ithnain. All of these are Sunnah fasts. A person might fast every Monday, but they don't fast on Thursdays. Maybe just their job, whatever the situation may be. It's easier for them to fast on Mondays. Tayyib. So we got the white days, Thursdays, fasting on Thursdays. This is all year long. Fasting on Mondays, wa sittin min Shawwal. Fasting the 6 days of Shawwal. 6 days of Shawwal. What is Shawwal, number 1? The month after Ramadan. So after the day of the Eid, you know the day of the Eid is no longer Ramadan, right? The day of the Eid, we're not in Ramadan anymore. So the day of the Eid is the 1st of Shawwal. But we can't fast the 1st of Shawwal because that's the day of the Eid. So that month, the next Islamic month after the Eid, to fast 6 days from that month. Everybody clear? Maybe some people will take and they'll fast their 6 days on Mondays and Thursdays for that month. So to take Shawwal. It's Sunnah to fast 6 days in Shawwal. And in the month of Shawwal, they'll fast Mondays and Thursdays. 3 weeks for their 6 days of Shawwal. And some people do all 6 straight. Either way, 6 days of Shawwal. The next category, number 5, was Shahr al-Muharram. Fasting the month of Muharram. Muharram, which is the first month on the Islamic calendar. Month number 1 on the Islamic calendar is the month of Muharram. He says, وَآكَدُهُ al-Ashir, is more emphasized to fast the 10th of Muharram. The 10th of Muharram, ثُمَّ التَّاسِعِ, and then the next best day to fast is the 9th. So, we clear? Somebody had their hand up. The 9th and the 10th of Muharram.
He first said, you said the month of Muharram. So
Yes.
are you saying the 10th and the 9th?
No, the 10th,
The whole month.
the month of Muharram, that whole month, but the most emphasized day is the 10th of that month.
So it's something to recommend. Well, it's recommended to fast the whole month.
Yeah. But the most important day, if we can say the most important, the most emphasized day is the 10th. And then what's the next most emphasized day? The 9th. The 9th. That was number 5, the 5th category. Number 6, وَتِسْعِ ذِي الْحِجَّةِ, 9 days from the month of Dhul Hijjah. Dhul Hijjah is the 12th month on the Islamic calendar that's connected to the Hajj, where Hajj is. Hajj is in the 12th month. So the 12th month on the Islamic calendar is when Hajj is. So Hajj, if you notice, Hajj and the second Eid are together. طيب. The second Eid is with Hajj, Dhul Hijjah. طيب. For the people who are not fasting, right? The people who are not fasting, it's recommended to fast the first 9 days of the month of Dhul Hijjah. Those are the days that the Prophet ﷺ said about is no action that you do in these 10 days, more love to Allah in those 10 days. طيب. The 10th day, we don't fast because the 10th day is their Eid. So it's recommended, if you're not making Hajj, it's recommended to fast all 9 days. Then the 10th day is their Eid. On Hajj, the people on Hajj are on Hajj on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. They're on Mina. On the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, they're on Arafat. And then their Eid happens when they come off of Arafat, which is the next day, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. So the 10th of Dhul Hijjah is their Eid. طيب. So that means Sunnah to fast all of those days from the 1st to the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. That's why it says, وَتِسْعِ ذِي الْحِجَّةِ, the 9 days of Dhul Hijjah, not the 10th day.
So the second Eid move when Ramadan moves,
Say it again.
like when Ramadan moves back a month, does the second Eid move back a month?
You said when the second, say it again, I'm sorry.
When the second Eid when Ramadan moves back a month, does the second Eid move back?
Oh yes, on the January calendar, yes. Not necessarily a whole month though. He says when Ramadan moves back, when it moves back like 10 days, not a month, but like 10 days every year or something like that. Our calendar is standard, but on the January to December calendar, yes, it's going to move a little bit every year. But our calendar is the same calendar. It's important, y'all. Everybody should have an Islamic calendar in your house, just so you can look at it and see. It's easy. You can buy one. You can just have it in your house. Just look at it every now and then. You want to see the months changing. The calendar has the Gregorian calendar from January to December on it, and it has the Islamic calendar on it. And you can compare and just go throughout the year, get familiarize yourself, because a lot of the worship that we're doing is connected to our calendar. We miss worship because we don't know our calendar. So people fasting on the 10th of Muharram, and Muslims trying to figure out what's everybody fasting for. And they miss the day of fasting, sins being forgiven for a year, then the other day, sins forgiven for the previous year and the past year for one day of fasting. All that's connected to the Islamic calendar. Hold on.
Now I'm just gonna add, you don't have to buy it. There's a setting on most phones.
Oh yeah. Or you could just put it on your phone.
Yeah. And you can have both calendars on your phone.
Yeah, you got both of them on your phone. You could put it like on a setting. You could put the calendar on your regular calendar that you look at on your phone. So like in red, it'll have the Islamic month, And in black, it'll say March. It'll say March. And on top of it in red, it'll say the name of the Islamic month. All the numbers in red are the numbers on the Islamic month. And then the numbers in black will be the numbers in March. Jazakallah khair. طيب. The 9 days of al-Hijjah, وَآكَدُهُ, the most important day to fast out of those 9 days is Yom Arafat, لِغَيْرِ Hajj biha, is the 9th day for the person who's not making Hajj. So what's going to happen is when it gets close, not this Eid, al-Fitr, Ramadan, the second Eid as we call it. Once we get towards the second Eid, everybody's going to be fasting. People going to be fasting and it's going to be a lot of commotion. Fasting, people breaking fast in the masjid. You walk in the masjid, they had iftar. People wondering what's iftar. It's recommended to fast for those first 9 days. The most important day to fast is the 9th day. And the 9th day is the day when the people making Hajj are on Arafat. As the Prophet ﷺ said, al-Hajj Arafat. Hajj is Arafat. That day is the most important day of the Hajj. While they're making Hajj on Arafat, the people around the world, the Muslims around the world that are not making Hajj, Sunnah to fast that day. Sunnah to fast that day. Tayyib, you wake up that day on the 9th and you forgot it was the 9th, right? You forgot it was the 9th, and you wake up like 10 o'clock and you say, I forgot it was the 9th. Can you fast? Huh? Why? Said you just woke up.
Long as you ain't drink or eat, right?
Long as you didn't drink or eat, and then you make your attention from 10 o'clock. And you can still fast. Why? Because it's a sunnah fast. It's a recommended fast. So the recommended fast, the intention can be made in the daytime. See how easy that is? If you know, it's easy. No, if you know, that's the benefit of knowledge. The benefit of knowledge is you're able to tap into more worship. Knowledge is not just to be having to be able to tell everybody stuff. The more you know, the easier it is to worship, and the more worship you can tap into. There's a bunch of people, they're not going to know why people fasting the day before they eat. They have no idea what's even going on. Tayyib. There's a bunch of people, they're going to wake up late on the 9th, and they're going to say, I was going fast, man, but I woke up at 10.
Or
I ain't make my intention last night, so we just went and got something to eat. And you're going to be like, if had you known, it's a sunnah fast. You can make your intention whenever you wake up as long as you didn't do anything that would break your fast before that. That's the benefit of knowledge. That's the benefit of learning. It makes Islam easy. What makes deen to some people difficult is not knowing. And when you don't know, you're basically freestyling. And when you don't know everything, you want hadar, as they say. Everything is, I'm going to just know. Everything is a no just to be safe. And then the person next to you, they have a little more knowledge, so everything is not no to them. And then you're looking at them like, you do anything. I don't know about that. Yeah, you don't know about it. You're right, you don't know about that. You don't know. Just because you don't know don't mean the whole masjid doesn't know. I don't know, so I'm going to lay back, I'm going to just stand off, I'm going to do mine like this. Cool. There's other people, they have more knowledge. They understand the issue, so they do something else. Don't be mad at them. Don't consider them not practicing deen properly because they know what you don't know. They're able to go further than you're able to go. Tayyib, he says, and we'll stop here, وَأَفْضَلُ الصِّيَامِ صَوْمُ يَوْمِ وَفِطْرُ يَوْمِ. The best fast, voluntary fast, the best voluntary fast that a person can do is to fast every other day. Every other day, the fast of Dawood alayhi salam. There is no fast better than the fast of Dawood. How we know that? Prophet said there's no fast better than that. The man said, I can do more. There is no more. There's nothing better for a voluntary fast. The person can say, well, I can go, boy, I've fasted this many days. Sunnah. There's no way you can get better than the Prophet ﷺ told us. There's nothing better than what he told us. He told us the best fast is the fast of Dawood alayhi salam, which is to fast one day, then the next day you don't fast. To fast the next day, then the next day you don't fast. To fast every other day. There is no getting better than that if a person wanted to go that far. And we'll stop there, inshallah, unless there's any questions.
So the question about a person like kisses his spouse.
Yes.
And you said, so what's the ruling on it? You said it depends. call, my question is, does it not have an also ruling and then it has a exception to the rule, or is it you automatically go into it depends?
That's a good question. Min bab al-ta'lim, for us learning together, I asked it like that on purpose. It depends. So make sure we understand that it depends. Is it permissible to kiss your wife while you're fasting? The origin, the Prophet said someone kiss his wife while he's fasting, right? It's permissible to kiss your wife while you're fasting. Some people, you can't touch your wife at all once the thing goes off all day. The Prophet say something, then what you gonna say about the hadith when the Prophet say something, kiss his wife? So yes, you can kiss your wife while you're fasting, but I made it like that for us so that makes sure we understand the breakdown of it depends. Because it really does depend now. Now, if a person comes and they say, man, and they explain the situation, you understand, well, if you did that, that breaks your fast. But you're not necessarily gonna say to every person, break down all the categories every time you're talking to somebody. And that's not really for that. That's really for a person to know, if this happens, I know what to do. Not necessarily every time I talk to somebody, I gotta give them, this is the joint, if you do it like this, which one do you feel? All right, that was it. Not like that.
I was only asking because, like the example you give oftentimes when you ask people, like, is khinzir haram?
Right. It's the asl sah.
People say, depends.
Yeah, no. That depends. Yeah, pork is haram.
Then
Right. So the asl is the following. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he kissed his wife while he was fasting. So you can kiss your wife while you're fasting. General. I'm sorry, Sheikh was before you. Fadl, Sheikh. Hey, Sunnah.
Can you clarify the sighting of the white thread to stop?
Most people don't know how to look for the white thread. The Sahaba differed in the beginning about what the white thread was. I'll say for practical, real-time purpose, because for what you're talking about, for real, we would really need to go outside together and do like a real look. Since that's not the case, the easiest thing in practice-wise is the adhan of Fajr. The adhan of Fajr is called on the white thread. The adhan of Fajr, the timing is connected to the white thread. But to see the white thread, you need to go out there and see it. And if you read the tafsir about the verse of the white thread, if you read the tafsir, you'll see what some of the companions understood about the white thread in the beginning. They understood different things. And that's more of it would be better to like step outside to be able to look at it. But for most people living life every day, that white thread in the verse is connected to the adhan. The adhan is not called until that white thread is present. Yeah.
Turnpike
Where it's open.
over the space, then you can literally see front of you is going to be different than the back of you.
Right, Saajid.
That's when you know the difference between Fajr.
Yeah, if you're driving in an open space, not like you step out on the Ave, it's buildings you can't hardly see, turnpike, but if you turnpike somewhere open, that's a lot easier. Fadl.
Yeah, the reason why I said that is because a lot of people in the city don't understand it because of all the city lights. It is very difficult.
Yeah,
So if you're in an urban area, possible. In an urban area, it's impossible. In a
Right.
rural area, more likely.
more likely space, more open space. Fadl.
Should the appointed muezzin determine the adhan for Maghrib?
Most people, this is a rabbit hole. Most people gonna use what we've been using. Yo. We've been using the phone all year, right? Nothing's gonna change. Everybody gonna use his phones at the times that we've been using. If a person has the ability to go and look every time they call the adhan, that's khair. Jayid, if they can go out there and look every day when it's time for Maghrib and call it on eyeball, on eye, that's excellent. Most people not doing that. You feel what I'm saying? Just being real. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is we've been praying off of the times that we've been using all year long. And that's what's going to continue to happen. And
Before the phones, we was going off the schedule.
before the phones, we was going off the schedule. You know what I'm saying? So that's what most people want to do. It's just to be careful even when it comes to that, especially if you're in the masjid. If we're in the masjid, whatever masjid you're in, there's somebody designated to call when it's time to break. It's easy to let them do it. If you out moving around, I mean, what we used to do, this is what we used to do. What we used to do. Now, people might still do it. If I'm at work and it's time to break fast, I call somebody at the masjid. Y'all broke yet? Yeah, all right, I'm breaking now. People, but that's because this was a time when everybody didn't have the timing on their phone. So if you left your, and it wasn't pictures, right? So if you left your prayer schedule in the house, you don't really know what's going on. The most you could do is call somebody at the mash. Let me call, I know he at the mash shit. You call him, yo, y'all at the mash? Yeah. Y'all broke? Yeah. No, we ain't break yet. All right, well, let me know when y'all break. Then you call them back, y'all, then we break like that. Most people now, and I'm gonna just say this. If the adhan says, let's just say you at work. Your phone says, your app says you break at 8:30 or 8:30, right? What time are you not gonna break? 8:28, 8:29, you're not gonna do that. What if you break at 8:35? You good. You see how it go? You good if you break at 8:35. If you got some doubt, I don't know, my app be acting funny, it's in and out. Waiting a couple minutes is not going, it's safer. Especially most masjids, most people are not going outside looking and calling their adhan off the eye. You know what I'm saying? So most people are gonna be using apps. We've been using them. All year we've been praying Maghrib on these apps. The apps don't work for Maghrib now for 1 month, the apps don't work. Then after Ramadan, we're gonna go back to the apps, they work again. You see what I'm saying? It's not, we don't want to put ourselves in a cobra clutch where we like, we can't do that. Everybody got to call outside and call it then. That's not going to happen. That's not realistic. We're going to keep doing what we've been doing. We just be extra careful. This worship, every day is important. Even if we break late, what's worse? Breaking early or breaking late? Breaking too early is worse. Even if Mu'adhin was 3 minutes late, because brothers be mad. Man, we can call it then, Sheikh. What was we tripping? Man, they late, I'm eating now. It'd be a whole, I'm telling you, it'd be a masjid full of men, full of brothers and sisters, everybody waiting to eat. A brother be sitting right there on the wall, just pop his water and eating dates like nobody else here is trying to break fast. That's dangerous. Even if the mu'adhin was late, even if the mu'adhin was 3 minutes late, which he shouldn't be. Even if he was, that's safer than breaking too early. You breaking too early, you just blew a whole day. You got to make the day up. It's safer, 3 minutes. You can grind the mu'adhin up after we eat. After we eat and all that, you can talk to the mu'adhin on the side. Sound like it looked like, no, it ain't even grind up. It looked like mine was like a little early. It looked like, is it matching up? We don't got to be rude about it. Maybe it don't match up. If it's not matching up, I might want to adjust mine, or you might need to adjust as a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing to be aggressive about. Sheikh keep calling the adhan late. I ain't praying down there no more. And be wrong the whole time. So, may Allah help us. And we'll stop there, inshallah. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fadla.
You rushed forward really quickly on at the sahur. Finishing what's on the plate. Can you just...
Nah. The author didn't mention that. The author didn't mention that. Hadith about eating what's in front of you when the adhan goes off. Allahu a'lam. Allahu a'lam. I'm not. I don't even know, Sheikh. Allahu a'lam. I would have to really check it out before I can even. Inshallah. Yeah, if you remind me, inshallah, I'll double check it. Inshallah. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.